Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now Rivers. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Throwing Rivers. And it
Dude,
is incomplete.
come on, man.
Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations. I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the 2nd level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
To throw is Watson, and this is complete. It's Allen, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And Gostkowski's kick is good, and it's now 3-0 Texans. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Second down, Rivers. He's going to fire one deep. This is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they've got a decision to make here on 4th down and 2. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. From the gun, Rivers. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Rivers. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Jadeveon Clowney. Coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Dancing to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And Bryant's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Here's Christian McCaffrey to return it. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they had 3 because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Back 22.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Back 22.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Watson looks to throw again. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Have a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Jones has it over the middle.
God, man.
Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
The quick slant caught. And give him a full 10 yards there. Second and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Again, it's Watson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So out come the Falcons now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game.
Oh, my God.
But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Rivers again. He's airing it out for Sanu. And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock.
Hey, left.
They'll throw again. Rivers throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Rivers, and that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Good move by Gurley.
Oh, my God.
20. Touchdown, Houston. Todd Gurley in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. And if you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
Gostkowski the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Oliver. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. McCaffrey on the return. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Watson. It's
oh, my God.
Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that. Little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Derrick Henry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They go play action here on first down. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Keenan Allen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They try to see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start ahead. We want to run. These things worked well for us, but sometimes it...
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Joey Bosa. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Rivers now on second down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third and long for Rivers. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. Rivers now to throw on first down. And no way to get away. Rivers is dropped. Joey Bosa in there to get him for his second sack of the night. To throw on second down. Rivers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, you were backed up into a second and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
On first down, it's Gurley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back now in Atlanta. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. Here's Watson now on second down. Allen's got it over the middle.
The air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a first and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. On first and goal, Gurley. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Todd Gurley, his second touchdown of the night. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gostkowski with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out.
He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. A first down throw here for Rivers. Connects with Sanu right side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From the red zone now, Rivers. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he can't get away. Gurley couldn't escape it, and that's going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them.
And this is intercepted. And that should do it. It's Desmond Trufant. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Black 22! Black 22!
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And Gostkowski's kick is good. But wait up now, a flag is down. If this is on the defense, they're going to get the first.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now Rivers, and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Rivers now. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.